Hi, online learners. Long time no see. What's up? Are you feeling good today? Well, you should be because I'm here to brighten up your day and share new learnings too. Let's keep the ball rolling. Our session today will revolve around this most essential learning competency. Determine the effect of textual aids like advanced organizers, titles, nonlinear illustrations, etc. on the understanding of a text. And to make things on point, our sub-skills are as follow. Compare new insights with previous learnings. Express appreciation for sensory images used. And transcode information from linear to nonlinear text and vice versa. The module that we will give concentration on is authored by Ma'am Maria Teda Lim, a master teacher of Genti de Leon National High School. Effect of textual aids on the understanding of a text. For us to have a smooth discussion, please follow our protocol. Be polite and respectful at all times. Comment what is necessary and relevant. Remember, if something is a little fuzzy or unclear, don't hesitate to ask questions or clarifications. Just note that your concerns are going to be addressed in the Q&A part. Is everything clear? Crystal. And as part of our norm, please key in your name, grade and section for us to recognize your presence and to help us keep track of your attendance. A pen and a notebook will be necessary for you to jot down notes as we go along our discussion. Are you ready? Let's begin. You will be watching a flash report on the current status of COVID-19 cases in our city. Please pay attention to the chart which will be presented by the news anchor for you to answer these questions. Based from the report, how many active cases does our city have? How would you compare the number of confirmed cases from the recovered cases? Does it have a great difference? What can you infer based on this report? Let's watch this. Good day, Valenzuela. You're watching Val City News Patrol. The City Epidemiology and Surveillance Unit reported that there are 84 active cases in our city as of November 7 compared to 86 active cases last November 5. The report also shows that there are 7,878 confirmed cases and 7,548 residents who have already recovered from the disease. The death toll is now 246. 24/7 Mega Contact Tracing Hotline 137-160. Stay tuned for the latest COVID-19 report. There you have it, the latest COVID-19 report of the city. Were you able to take note of the answers to the questions presented a while ago? Let's discuss your answer. Based from the report, how many active cases does our city have? Did you take note of that? Precisely. As of November 7, there are 86 active cases in our city. How would you compare the number of confirmed cases from the recovered cases? Does it have a great difference? Right. The number of confirmed cases as compared to the recovered cases has a difference of 330 individuals, which I believe shows how efficient our city government is in implementing programs to suppress the drastic effects of the pandemic. What can you infer based from this report? Yes, definitely. If the people of our city will continue to follow all the ordinances on how to combat COVID-19 and the city government will not waver on the implementation of programs to control and eliminate this disease, we see a COVID-19 free city in the future. Well, I am impressed. You did maximize the information presented in the news to come up with great answers. The chart presented in the news helped you gather the needed data to answer these questions. And I am amazed you did make the most of information to come up with accurate answers. Let's move forward. Lesson 2, which was discussed by Ma'am Eileen, focus on the advanced organizers that we can utilize to help us manage our ideas to avoid information overload. Advanced organizer is an instructional unit that is used before direct instruction or before a new topic. And as stated by Ergen and Kauchak, advanced organizer is like cognitive roadmaps that allow students to see where they have been or where they are going. In other words, it gives you a preview of what is to come and gets you interested in seeing more. Let's have a quick recap of the advanced organizers. Some of the advanced organizers mentioned were expository organizer. This type of organizer is used to present new or detailed information as opposed to making connections with previously introduced information. Another is comparative organizer. A comparative organizer is designed to discriminate between the old and the new concepts to avoid confusion caused by their similarity. This kind of organizer is presented when material is relatively similar or familiar, I would say, or when new ideas will be integrated with prior knowledge. Next is a narrative organizer, which presents the new information in the format of a story. Scheming is another type of advanced organizer. This happens when the teacher provides the learners with the opportunity to skim over the information that is about to be introduced, focusing on the highlighted information. We also have the graphic organizers. These are used as a method of presenting information in the visual realm. They are efficient because they highlight and focus on just the important aspects, and they also show relationships between necessary information. And lastly, we have the KWL chart. They are advanced organizers that help students to organize information before, during, and after a topic or a lesson. They can be used to engage students in a new topic, activate prior knowledge, share unit objectives, and monitor students' learning. You're probably wondering why I recalled advanced organizers. Because today we will be talking about textual aids that are used in the understanding of a text. Where are we at? We're in a conference room where most conference calls, staff meetups, client meetings, training sessions, interviews, board meetings, management discussions, and other major decision-making situations happen. This is one of the places where textual aids and non-linear texts are used to present data. When you communicate data, you can't just throw a whole bunch of numbers on a page and expect that readers or your listeners will understand what you want to say. Charts, tables, graphs, and other textual aids help communicators organize that data in a way that helps their audience understand the story the data tells and hopefully interpret it correctly. But what are textual aids? Textual aids refer to written text, prints, and some other way of writing for an important word, graphs, or even pictures that provide support or facilitate in the understanding of a text. These aids are most of the time graphical outlines or images that gives a general idea of a certain topic. They can also be called text features or visual elements of a page that stands out from the main text, like the words in bold letters, italics, or in capital letters that you see in this presentation. Simple examples of textual aids are those being highlighted, bolded, italicized, and adding charts, graphs, diagrams, maps, and tables. Some of these textual aids are the following: concept map, graphic organizer, flow diagram, Venn diagram, cause and effect diagram, or simply the advanced organizers that were previously imparted to you. See that? You have been using textual aids all along. Whenever you're assigned to report in front of the class, when you have a group task, an assignment, a PowerPoint presentation to make, it's basically around you. Information on your bulletin board or signages scattered in every corner of the school or community, in your books, and in other printed and non-print materials, even on TV shows, and in social media platforms that you are affiliated to. So, understanding, recognizing, and knowing how to use them is a vital skill you must possess, for you will be encountering and using them all throughout your life. Before we move on further, let's first differentiate linear text from non-linear text. Linear text refers to traditional text that needs to be read from beginning to the end, while non-linear text refers to text that does not need to be read from beginning to end. As their name imply, linear texts are linear and sequential, while non-linear texts are non-sequential. Thus, there is only one reading path in linear text, which is determined by the author. However, non-linear text can have multiple paths or reading paths depending on the readers. You can read it in any way you want, whether begin from bottom to top or sideways. Moreover, non-linear texts are explanations or descriptions of the words, usually those writings with visual aids, diagrams, or an infographic. Some examples include flowcharts, charts, graphs, graphical organizers such as knowledge maps and story maps. Let's have a quick discussion of the different types of non-linear text or textual aids that you can utilize. Line graph, a common type of chart which displays information as a series of data points connected by straight line segments to show trends. Bar graph, a chart which presents data with rectangular bars that differ in their sizes. Pie graph, a circular graph which is divided into slices or portions to illustrate proportions. Histogram, a graphical presentation of the distribution of numerical data. It has no gaps between bars. Aside from using graphs and charts, we can also employ graphic organizers in managing information. This is a communication tool that uses visual symbols to express knowledge, concepts, or thoughts and the relationships between them. Graphic organizers such as Venn diagram comprise of two overlapping circles, and show all the possible logical relationships between a set of items. Concept maps depicts suggested relationships between concepts. Flowchart, a picture of the separate steps of a process in sequential order. We also have a tree diagram, a chart that begins with one central item, then branches into more and keeps branching until the line of inquiry that started in the central item is exhausted. Problem solution map or cause and effect map shows relationships between events or things. It contains the problem's description, causes, and effects. And a spider map, a type of graphic organizer that is used to investigate and enumerate various aspects of a single theme or topic. We do have a lot to choose from, right? All you have to do is to decide based on your purpose and the information you are planning to convey. But what about the textual aids that you need to use to better understand a passage or a text? Remember that textual aids are tools or materials that provide support and facilitate understanding of text. These aids are most of the time graphical outlines or images that gives a general idea of a certain topic. Let's now have the textual aids that can help us to fully understand the meaning of the text. A story map. It is a strategy that uses a graphic organizer to help students learn the elements of a book or a story by identifying story characters, plot, setting, problem, and solution. Students read carefully to learn the details. There are many different types of a story map graphic organizers. The most basic focus on the beginning, middle, and end of the story. More advanced organizers focus more on plot and character traits. Why use story maps? First, they improve students' comprehension. Second, they provide students with a framework for identifying the elements of the story. And finally, they help students of varying abilities organize information and ideas efficiently. How to use story maps? Well, it's very easy. Number one, discuss the main components of a story. For example, characters, setting, plot, and theme or beginning, middle, end. Secondly, use a blank story map, organizer, and complete it. And the last thing that you need to do is to fill in any missing part. I have here an example of a basic story map and a more complex story map from readingrockets.org. This is an example of a basic story map that focuses on the beginning, middle, and end of the story. While a more advanced story map focuses on setting, the time and place, characters, the problem, plot events, and the resolution. A basic story map focuses only on the beginning, middle, and end of the story. While, like what I said, the more complex story map focuses more on plot or character traits. Is that clear? Awesome. Another textual aid that can help us in understanding a text is a chart. It is a diagram, picture, or graph which is intended to make information easier to understand. The main functions of a chart are to display data and invite further exploration of a topic. Charts are used in situations where a simple table won't adequately demonstrate important relationships or patterns between data points. A table chart is a means of arranging data in rows and columns. The use of tables is pervasive throughout all communication, research, and data analysis. Tables appear in print media, handwritten notes, computer software, architectural ornamentation, traffic signs, and many other places. Let's go back to the chart presented in the flash report. Did you notice that the information were presented in a table chart form? Great. The chart visually assisted you to capture the meaning or to get the information that you need. And lastly, a timeline. It is a visual representation of a sequence of events, especially historical events. Students need to be able to analyze the structure of a text on a deeper level. According to litinfocus.com, timeline can be used as a scaffolding tool to help students see the relationships between events or ideas in the text. For example, arranging events on a timeline gives students an opportunity to take a second look at the information. It also lays out the textual context in a different format. What might have been missed while reading the text has the potential to be noticed in the timeline. If a student can see that one event precedes another, they might be more likely to identify causation. Here is a sample template for a story's timeline, great for recording chronological events. We can now say that timelines provide a visual aid for identifying cause and effect relationships between events and a visual prompt to activate students' prior knowledge, making connecting those events an easier task. Again, the textual aids that we can use in understanding of a text are as follows. A story map, a strategy that uses graphic organizer to help students learn the elements of the story. A chart, a diagram, picture, or graph which is intended to make information easier to understand. And a timeline, a visual representation of a sequence of events, especially historical events. Always keep them handy because they will make you understand a text clearly. To sum up what we have learned today, we can say that textual aids are tools or materials that provide support and facilitate understanding of text. These aids are, most of the time, graphical outlines or images that gives a general idea of a certain topic. Moreover, important words are sometimes written in bold to catch the attention of the reader. Italicized words are used to meanings, synonyms, footnotes, and many others depending on the style of the writer, which he believes would make the words more visible and easy to remember. This will make it easy for students to memorize, remember, and learn important words more quickly and easily. For your queries and clarifications, just simply type your questions if there is any on the comment section, and I will try my very best to address them. You have a minute to send us your questions, and our teacher moderator will be gathering them. I will be right back after 60 seconds. And your time is up. I will now be reading the questions you have posted in the comment section. Thank you to our teacher moderator for gathering the questions. The questions, which will not be addressed today, will be discussed and answered by your subject teacher in your follow-up discussion. Our first question is from Polo National High School. What is the purpose of textual aids? Well, to name a few, the purposes of textual aids are to reproduce some major text materials in visual and spatial format, to give an overview of important information, to show relationships of different text elements, to add numerical information to some given verbal data, to provide a summary of the main points, and to provide visual variety on the page. Got it? Next query is from a learner of Big 9 National High School. What is the importance of using textual aids? Well, textual aids help readers to better understand the text they are reading. Additionally, they assist readers enhance their learning as they read through the material. Remember that text features or textual aids will make it easy for students to memorize, remember, and learn important words more quickly and easily. So keep them handy. And finally, from Dalandanan National High School, how can these textual aids help me in understanding the text? Basically, textual aids are tools or materials that provide support and facilitate understanding of text. Because these aids are, most of the time, graphical outlines or images that gives a general idea of a certain topic, which will help you in decoding information with ease and in comprehending the text expediently. Our learners have been so awesome today. Again, the questions which have not been addressed yet will be discussed thoroughly by your English teachers during your follow-up discussion. Thank you for sending us your questions. Those are really good ones. I am happy that I'm able to capture your interest and share new learnings to you. I am now confident that you will be able to answer all the succeeding tasks and assessment in your module. Be ready to answer the previous which will gauge what you already know about the lesson, the different tasks which focus on textual aids, and the assessment which will evaluate everything that you have learned in today's session. Read the instructions carefully. You can watch the replay if you want to look at important points of today's discussion. Ask help to your parent or guardian when necessary. Enjoy the process of learning. Your English teachers will be checking on your progress in your follow-up discussion via Facebook Messenger, Microsoft Teams, or Google Meet. They will be there ready to elaborate and explain further if you miss something, and they will help you process your outputs in each activity of the module. Bye!